Welcome to NFL Daily, where we're ready for some post-Thanksgiving winners. I'm Gregg Rosenthal here in the Chris Wesseling podcast studio with my friend Cynthia Frelund for a special holiday edition of our picks. That was the Colleen Wolfe voice. We used to call this man versus model. It was your computer model. You're the busiest woman
Not even
in
a
show
little
business
bit.
this week.
No, it's a weird schedule, so it's the most fun week of the year. I just do a lot of extra cooking, which makes things very great.
Yes, but you're on the game day morning on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving morning.
For like a second.
We're putting this up on Thanksgiving morning. We had game day view. We have all of our preview shows, so please check that all out. And when I say we're looking for post-Thanksgiving winners, the reason I said that, Cynthia, is because for this show, we decided, look, this is going up pretty close to those games. Let's pick the games after Thanksgiving. We picked 3 games every week against the spread. Last week, I kept my winning streak going, and I finished 2-1. So 8th straight week that I've had a winning record on this show. You got back on the winning track, so that is good to hear. Unfortunately, why are you shaking your head?
Oh no, I've just got a long way to go.
Oh, okay.
I got a long way to go.
Okay, we'll do it then by picking some winners here.
Yeah.
You are up. Let's go first.
Give me the Rams to cover.
Okay. That was one of the ones I was thinking about, so I like that.
LAR versus CAR. It's at Carolina. It's 10.5 points. That's the last I saw. I don't even care if you can bid that all the way up to 13. I think they win. I think they win going away. This is the best team in football right now against a team that, it was a very bad game. That San Francisco, it was a tough hang. It was a tough hang for that one. So I'm looking at that game, and Carolina caused some turnovers. We saw some weird. I don't think against Matthew Stafford and this offense and that defense is not going to look the same. So might be boring, but for different reasons.
Yeah, I think that could be like a 3-score game very easily. Carolina's defense, if you're going to beat the Rams, you have to get some pressure on Matthew Stafford.
Like a lot of pressure on Matthew Stafford.
They don't get any pressure.
No.
Their linebackers struggling. I think it could be bad against this tight end group. And ultimately, I don't find the Carolina Panthers
risky,
like that serious. That's serious of a football team. At least as a playoff
Come on, you
contender.
didn't like my
I think it was a beautiful
pun.
play on
It's a
words.
family weekend. You need a pun.
Okay, so you pointed out the Rams. That was one of the ones I was thinking about.
Okay.
And they were in a category. I like a lot of games this week.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
There was a category of games, and I wanted to mix it up between the categories. And so I was going to pick one, and I was like, okay, I won't pick the one Cynthia's picking. That's how many games I like. And this category was, I'm really good, and you did not give enough points. Like you could give 13 points, like you said, and it wouldn't be enough. I would still take the Rams. And so here's the category of teams I would throw in that mix this week. I'm only going to take one of them. The Broncos. They're only getting 6 points against that Commanders team. I'd be fine with that. The Seahawks. They're only getting 10.5 points against Max Brosmer and the Vikings. I think that could be one. And you're free to take one of those because I'm not. This is a category of games. The Rams would be in that mix. But of that group of the heavy favorites who I still think it's not enough, give me the Los Angeles Chargers. -10 this week against the I don't want to be around here anymore Raiders offense and team. And I know they fired Chip Kelly, and maybe they get a little fired coach bounce. It's somehow better with Greg Olsen. But I think the Chargers coming off a bye, they've been a different team, especially on defense at home. We saw this Chargers-Raiders matchup earlier in the year. The Raiders offense had nothing going on in that game. I have no reason to believe that offensive line can stop Thule and Khalil Mack and Odafe Owe and everything going on with the Chargers defense.
Pretty sure Omari and Hampton will be back in this one too, which, that's a plus. Like, I'm with you on the entire analysis. I'm with you if the price were bid up to even more points as a differential between the two. I don't think that the coach bump that would potentially happen here is I don't know if O-lines get the coach. I don't know if they get the memo on that. Maybe some skill players do, but I think the O-line, and as good as we've seen Ashton Genty be in general, because he'd have to run against the Chargers to have some sort of, answer to that pressure that you're talking about. He gets hit behind the line of scrimmage on pretty much all of his yards. If the amount of yards he's actually run for versus the ones that have counted as positive It's massive.
Sad.
So it's just, yeah.
And he's not. And the offensive line coach is Pete Carroll's son, so you're not getting the bump, and you're not firing your son. We talked a little bit about this on the previous show.
I love Pete.
That's the right move. I do feel bad, and you cannot fire your son. You have a whole rest
I'm not
of
firing my son.
your
if I
life
had a son.
to live.
Right.
I'm saying if you're Pete Carroll,
Right. No,
you gotta,
absolutely not.
It was some Nepo baby stuff, not probably the right hire, but ultimately you got to go down as a family. And I'm going to go up, picking against the Raiders maybe every week. They are one of the worst NFL teams I've ever seen. I actually was surprised this number was so low. So that's the team I'll pick out of that category of games. That's my first pick. All right.
I'm not even going to get started on their draft class because if you look at...
Not good.
Anyways.
All right. You can go. And you could pick from that category.
I'm going to pick from that category.
Oh, you are? I saw your eyes light up here.
I came prepared because I got real serious this week.
Oh, okay.
You know? I really
You had a winning week last week. You want to build on that.
I got to build on my wins, right? So Denver, you talked about that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're gonna give me a little bit of bait. I'm going to take it. 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number one, Denver's defense. You know, we watched Houston's defense in the big time spotlight against the Bills. Denver's defense, like, excuse me, do you not remember what we did to Patrick Mahomes? I have an issue to raise against you, right? So I'm looking at that and saying, and then look, like, I love Dan Quinn. He's a really nice man. I don't think his defense can has enough, even if they kind of get it all together, to stop even maybe it's just the fourth quarter for Bo Nix. It's maybe all he needs. But I think this is where Bo Nix takes this step and kind of turns this corner of like only the screen pass dude. I think he goes now and takes a step forward. This is a defense to do it against. Just watch what the Lions did to this secondary before. They don't have a lot of answers for, even any downfield pass. So
I hope the listeners saw that and the viewers. Cynthia Frelund hit poor Dan Quinn with, he's a nice man.
He is so nice.
But when that happens, you're in trouble. When Cynthia hits you with he's a nice man, things aren't going well. You were feeling bad for Pete Carroll.
I know.
Saying that Dan Quinn's a nice
he's
man.
So nice too.
I would love to run some analytics on how often a guy who you say is a nice man or you feel bad for covers the number. I bet it's very low. And I'm with you. That line was weird. It did feel like bait. Why was the Broncos only 6 point? I know they're on the road and everything, but it's supposed to be Mariota this week. It's that defense of the Commanders. I think the Broncos offense, by the way, might be turning a corner. They played pretty well in that game against
I think so too.
I think they're going to be good the rest of the way. Okay. I'm going to go to what's my favorite pick. It's the Texans. They're getting 4.5 points in Indianapolis, and I think they're going to win straight up. And I don't feel incredibly confident about them winning straight up, but I do feel great about them getting 4.5 points.
It's a weird number.
I think it's a defensive game, and I do get that the underlying numbers, and maybe your model reflects that somewhat, I don't really know, are really positive on the Colts offense. But they're also really positive on the Texans defense overall. It is a transcendent defense, and I do think getting C.J. Stroud is going to really help this offense out. As we're taping, it's not official, but he is expected to come back.
Yes.
And the thing that's really impressed me about the Texans lately with Davis Mills has not been Mills in the passing game.
It's been his neck.
Well, that is always impressive, and he has gotten me some wins.
Best neck.
The running game has been better. It's been a pretty good running game with Woody Marks on our show Game Day View. I've been on a little bit of a streak there. We have Write This Down with player props.
Yeah, you're in a great streak there.
Woody Marks over 55.5 rushing yards. That's a little extra for this show.
Bonus.
He's been running great, and I think they've got some cohesion running the ball up front. And the Colts, on their defensive line, they're not the same without DeForest Buckner. So, man, I think this Texan season is turning around. I really do.
I think the 4.5 is good. Do I think they win straight up? Probably not. But I don't feel great about that. That's what the model. My model does have 4.5 points. I have a 3-point win for Indianapolis, but it's more like 2.6 points, which I know people hate fractional points, but whatever.
I like it because it's closer to my side. 2.6. You're saying you're covering that number by 2.
Right.
That's all we need on this show for me to get a winner.
And I think I'm looking at Houston, and remember, they have 2 matchups left with the Colts. So Houston still has the entire division to potentially win here. They have everything to play for. They're coming off of that big high against the Bills with something tangible, meaning they found ways to just get Josh Allen, who's a better quarterback than almost anyone they'll face, better quarterback than Daniel Jones. That's not shade. It's just a fact. And you're going to get him off his mark. And they're not dissimilar. Daniel Jones can run the ball nowhere near what Josh Allen can do, but you can get Josh Allen off his game. So I think that the Texans defense is real feisty.
You know what I thought, though, as you're talking, too? It supports your point. Shorter rest for the Colts.
Yep.
Do like a little extra rest for the Texans. And then I'm thinking about how that game played out against the Chiefs last week. 90 snaps for the Colts defense. So that's a tired defense on less rest. It's just like another small reason.
Yep.
It's more about the eyeball test that, number one, I think this is a special defense. And number two, I think the offense is improving from disastrous to competent, like 21st. You know what I mean? Just like looking like a normal offense. Jaden Higgins starting to play better. Nico Collins looking like Nico Collins. Like everything about it, they're just looking respectable. That's all I need. Let's go Texans. Make my boy Walker happy. All right, your third pick.
All right. I mean, I'm going to go all over here. You kind of talked about it. Seattle.
Okay, you're doing it.
I just think it's an undervalued number.
I do too.
You know, and if I see a mispriced stock, I'm going to snatch it up. Because 10.5 points at home against Minnesota, I don't know if you saw the weird, when you start to see like strange things coming out in the media, you know, like the home life isn't good there.
For Minnesota.
Yeah. And Minnesota, it's like some weirdo stuff. And I'm cool, Max Brosmer. Okay. Like I kind of feel bad for the kid. Like, you know, you're coming in and Justin Jefferson's not had the year that he would have liked to had. And, you know, you see this from frustration and these things and like all the stuff's boiling over right the moment. Maybe he needs that VO Max and maybe he needs to, you know, start tracking.
I think it might. I mean, I think it'll be an upgrade. I think it might be an upgrade at quarterback. So that wouldn't be the reason.
No,
but we also
I feel
don't
bad
know.
for him because it's a bad circumstance. It's if the backup's better than the starter, they'd be the starter. But like, you know, it's just a hard situation to come into. It'd be better if they were, you know, just resting everyone, week 18 style. But you know,
we got 6 games to play. I heard I was actually a Vikings beat writer write something like the only positive from this Packers game is the next
only have
after
5 games to
Thanksgiving
play.
And we're hitting the end of the season. And I'm thinking, not really. 6 games is a long time in the NFL. 6 games is an eternity. And this Seahawks defense is just going to swallow up that injured Vikings offensive line hole. So even if Brosmer plays well, and I think he might have something, I think they like him a little bit.
I like him a little. I mean, I have no.
They might like him better than J.J. McCarthy.
I don't know about that.
I like 10.5.
Yeah, I just think that Seattle's a lot better.
I think this Rams and Seahawks, these two teams are not only the best teams in the NFL, I think they're the best teams in the NFL with a tier below to whoever is 3 and 4. And so that's why I think you're right.
The good news is that this year feels so much more wide open than any other recent season. So maybe we won't see like a repeat of the same Super Bowl, you know? Like I feel like I've seen the Chiefs a lot, seen the Eagles a good amount. You know, maybe we see
some Rams in there, but it's been a while.
Yeah, but maybe some new blood.
It's been 5 years since the Rams made it.
I'm just saying, so like, be fun to see different colors, you know?
Okay, so I have one more pick to go. Now, I have certain rules.
You have rules?
You know, maxims that I tend to go by.
Okay.
One of them is don't pick against your own team because then you don't really enjoy either way. And I broke that rule earlier this season when I went against the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? They covered that week. And so I was wrong and I was annoyed by it. So I will not pick against the Patriots this week. They are favored by 7.5 against the Giants. But I'm just going to be real for people who like extra picks.
People who like real.
People who like extra picks too. They're like, why only 3? Give us more.
I know. My neighbor said that.
We've been kind of giving a few more this week. I really like the Giants to cover that number this week, but I'm not going to make that one of my.
No, don't do that.
I just don't. No. I want to enjoy it if the Patriots win big, but I don't think they will because their offensive line was struggling to run block and really pass protect before losing the entire left side of their offensive line. They can't run the ball right now in general, and their defensive line quietly, not nearly the same without Milton Williams. I think the Giants are a very frisky team. I just think it's going to be a good ball game, and 7.5 is too many points. So putting that to the side.
I'm with you.
You're with me. Okay. Here's the final category. And it's one of the maxims. You just look at the lines, and especially on lines that are like 6 and above or so, you're like, this NFL team has not earned the right to be favored by 6 points in any game.
Right.
And I don't even care what the opponent is.
Right.
I don't care about the situation.
Right.
Where it's just, you haven't earned the right to be 6-point favorites. There's 2 candidates. And so maybe we'll talk them through.
Okay.
But I like them both. The Miami Dolphins are 6-point favorites over the Saints. They're the Miami Dolphins. And I got to admit, the team I'm leaning towards, even though they're 7-4, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't know, have earned the right to be 6.5-point favorites in Tennessee. And I know the opponent should matter to me, but I've watched the Titans the last
Titans are
few
getting
weeks.
a little better.
They've gotten a little bit better. And
They put up some points in Seattle.
It's a division matchup. The Titans are at home, too. So in this case, the Dolphins are at home, but the Jaguars are 6.5-point favorites on the road. Neither of these teams, I feel like, have earned the right to be this big a favorite. Just blindly, I will take the other side in these games. I think I'm leaning towards the Titans covering. And look, they covered last week against the Seahawks.
I like it.
You liked the Seahawks you liked the Titans last week.
To cover. Yeah, I think that they cover again.
And I talked you out of it. Or I tried to talk you out of it. It got murky.
It got murky, but I actually am with you. Like, I think there's something about this team, and I don't like, you're getting special teams things to start happening. They're digging down. It's one of those things where it's like, well, what do we got to lose? Let's figure this out. Let's have a little fun. Does it mean you win games? No, but it means you keep it closer.
Yeah, and I do like the Saints to cover that 6, despite how poorly they've played. They've kind of been an every other week team. You might get a better performance out of them against the Dolphins. But ultimately, yes, I'm going to go with the Titans, who, to me, eye test-wise, they've just been better overall. Defensively, Cam Ward's playing pretty well. And more than anything, I don't know what this Jaguars team is.
No one does.
They just...
Do you think they know?
Their success rate on design runs last week were 20%, and yet they had a couple big runs. Like, I don't know what to do with them. And so it's a division game. I think the Titans keep it close. That's what we do here.
That's what we do.
We give winners.
We love winners.
8 straight weeks for me.
You're
feeling good.
Feeling
You're
it.
Crushing me on Game Day View. Everyone check that out. That's on NFL Network throughout the weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's also on YouTube, I should point out. They call it Game Picks on YouTube, but they put our show up on YouTube. It would say like Week 13 Game Picks. So if you're watching us on YouTube in terms of NFL Daily, thank you.
Yeah.
And you just head over there and then head over to Cynthia's channel, Numbers Game.
Yeah.
And then you got the show with Logan Ryan too.
NFL IQ.
NFL IQ. Cynthia, the hardest working woman in the building.
Says the man who literally works 7 days a week. It's a nice compliment.
Let's get out of here. Let's go eat some turkey.
Leftovers.
Hope everyone listening, has a great Thanksgiving and a great weekend. Because we'll be back. We'll actually be back next in this feed, Black Friday. So we're doing a recap of the Thanksgiving games and the Black Friday game. Come have some fun with us then. Thank you, Cynthia.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.